the conversion of cubic measures is similar to the conversion of, of areas in the metric system. So you always look at the power, and when you see you have 3 cubic meters, then you know when you want to transform to cubic decimeters, then you should add 3 zeros, or you should move your dot 1 point, right? If you have 1 cubic meter, then you move your dot by 3 digits to the right. So it's always the same. If you transform to a higher unit, then you move your dot to the left, right? So always you can write it down on a piece of paper and just move the dot to the right or move it to the left. I'm also going to explain you how it works in the following and how you can memorize it. I would say it's not too complicated. Just keep it in mind, and when you need to transform something, it won't be a problem for you. How to convert cubic measures in the metric system. This works the following. So we start with 1 cubic millimeter, and similar as for conversion of areas or conversion of lengths in the metric system, you always have to look at the power, and then you know how many zeros you have to add in this step. When we talk about cubic measures, we have to add 3 zeros, so 1,000 cubic millimeters are 1 cubic centimeter, and 1,000 cubic centimeters are 1 cubic decimeter. 1,000 cubic decimeters are 1 cubic meter. Now, the thing is, as with lengths or with areas, there are 2 measures between meters and kilometers, and with cubic measures, the 2 measures in between are even more rare than in area calculus or length calculus. So this time I will omit those 2 measures and just go straight away for the cubic kilometer, since it's also very rare. I mean, when do you use cubic kilometer? It's so big, you don't really use what you use usually are the measures until up to cubic meter, but cubic kilometer is not very common. You might imagine why. So on each step we have to add 3 zeros, so we omit 2 steps. We say 1,000 here, then we have 1,000,000, and next would be 1,000,000,000. So we have 1,000,000,000. 0, too many zeros. Cubic meters equal 1 cubic kilometer. So it's very big. 1,000,000,000 cubic meters. And so, except for this one, you always have to go, when you go 1 step, you have to add or to cut 3 zeros. Similar to lengths within the metric system, similar to areas in the metric system. You always have to look at the power, and the power tells you how many zeros you have to add or cut. And also maybe you can memorize like this. You have a cube, and the cube, of course, it's 3-dimensional, 1, 2, 3, and so you might be able also to remember it like this, like if this were 1 meter, then of course, and also this is 1 meter, this is 1 meter, then you could obtain the volume like 1 meter times 1 meter times 1 meter, and you would end up with 1 cubic meter. And there you see also where the power comes from, meter times meter times meter, and then maybe you can memorize like this. So if you have a 3 zeros in the cubic system, cubic measure system. So we just calculate 2 examples to show how it works. So we have 1.09 cubic centimeters, and we want to convert it and cubic millimeters. How are we going to do that? Cubic centimeters, cubic millimeters. Okay, we see one step, so all we have to do is add 3 zeros. And as with lengths or areas, we can also add a lot of zeros, and it still says the same. And we said one step. One step is 3 digits, so 1, 2, 3. There we are. And so we end up with 1090 cubic millimeters. That's how it works. Then another example, we have 0.49 cubic decimeters. We want to have it in cubic millimeters. Cubic decimeter, cubic millimeter, 2 steps. So two steps means we have to add 6 zeros, or to move the dot by 6 digits. So you can always start with many zeros, and then we have to move it, we said 6 digits, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there we go. And we see it's 490,000. Wait, this is still in cubic decimeters, and now we said 490,000 cubic millimeters. So this is how it works. What you have to keep in mind is just the stairs, and with the power of 3 you can always remember like this. Power of 3 means you have to add or to cut 3 zeros depending in which direction you go. If you go downstairs or upstairs, downstairs you have to add zeros. If you go upstairs, no, the other way around, right? If you go downstairs, you actually have to move the dot to the left. If you go upstairs, you move the dot to the right. So this is how it works. Conversion of cubic measures in the metric system. Thanks for watching. Practice makes perfect. Further exercises with solutions you can find on my website, which is www.worksheeps.com.